Welcome to Timber&Terra. I'm Glenn, and we had a little bit of a windstorm here a couple days ago, which led to several of these uprooted trees. A couple were broken off because they were weak or rotted. Some of them, like this one, happened to fall across the road, which is not unusual. So the area we'd been cutting in with the silviculture is basically right here. So this is sort of the other side of the road from that area, but I think I do have one in there to grab. And then one that I reviewed a video or two ago, which you can almost see there, which is that dead one that had blown over before this particular windstorm. So I know a couple of them I think are just good enough for firewood. That's it. Ones like this, well, there's two of them. This one here might have one 16-foot log. I need a 5-inch diameter at the top of a 16-foot log to make it sellable to the sawmill. The other one, as long as it's sound, will make at least one, probably two logs. And I think some of the others will also make some logs, again, assuming there's not any rot. So this video is not going to have a lot of felling, although there is one tree which is sort of blown over and hung up. This is actually a larger poplar. That'll be a bit of a challenge, but a lot of the cleanup is going to be like this, just simply cleaning up and then figuring out how to drag it out. So I took those 3 logs out there to the field and piled them with the others that I've collected. I ended up with 2 of them that were just barely the 5 inches minimum, and then one, I didn't measure it, but it's a nice log. So the other one is, this is the area that we've been cutting, but we've been cutting the other side of it more recently, not this side. We did this side first. But the top of the tree that blew down is right here. This one here, Looks like it fell down just on the butt end of that other dead one that had blown over probably a week or two ago. So same sort of thing, I'll just limb this one up and see what we have for logs. So if you've watched my previous videos sort of recently, you might be familiar with this area. That's where we pulled out a lot of logs that way. That's where I got my saw pinched. That's where I had my barber chair. And this is that cherry tree that I cut early on. Took a log and a couple pieces of firewood, dragged it out that way. And I think recently just dragged the top 3 or 4 pieces of that cherry for firewood out that way. So this one doesn't make sense to try to turn the corner and go that way. It'll be a longer pull, but I'll pull it head first, sort of where the tractor is, if you can make out the orange just a little bit behind it. So with this log here, we got 2 pretty decent 16-foot logs. The only thing that doesn't make this a great log is that it obviously grew out in the open most of its life, even though it's fir, and the branches don't get that big. There were some sizable branches, a lot of live ones towards the bottom. So a tree that grows with a lot of competition is not going to have these big branches. They'll either just die off and be small black knots in the lumber, or in the case of the first few years of that tree there, just completely break off and become clear lumber. But you can see here some of the other trees probably about the same age as this one. They still have a fair amount of live branches just because there was not really a lot of competition. Some of these might have had little clumps of competition because they're relatively branch free quite a ways up. But for now, I've chosen to leave those. It could be because I've cut a fair amount of trees around here that these will also be susceptible to this wind throw. I'm sure that's why this one fell down. Granted, it was quite rotten at the bottom, but the lack of protection from the trees that we removed allowed the little bit of wind we had to blow it down. So I'll deliver those two logs to the pile just on the other side of that little berm, rock wall, come back here and then drag these down. Well, not a lot to show for this, just this one little guy. I'm guessing this blowdown too was the result of clearing some other stuff around it. It was a southern wind, so it sort of came from that direction, and there were several large trees I took from there. But it did have these still, so a little surprising. And then this is the area where several videos ago that was a multiple stem maple tree that I cut down to a single stem. That probably also provided some protection. Too bad, these look like a couple of young promising trees, but have a spruce tree. I think this is white spruce because I think that one is white spruce. I'm guessing these probably came from the same parent. So you saw those 4 logs being pulled out. This one here, I don't have a good reason why it decided to uproot. Because there's really nothing I've done here recently, sort of upwind, that would have removed shelter and caused it to be more susceptible. So, you probably saw the tip of this one here. This one actually blew over probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just the tip of it was on the road, so there's no hurry to clean it up. I have not looked at it other than seeing this fresh exposed wood from a distance, so I don't know what condition it's in. But it looks pretty sound from here. Yeah, I guess there's a little bit of punkiness, but I'm guessing it'll clear up. But anyhow, this is, I'm not going to film taking care of this one. It's just going to be like that one. There are a couple more interesting ones a bit further in the woods that I want to tackle next. So we were just right up there, about 200 yards or so, and here we have our next blowdown, which again, didn't have anything that I took down recently upwind. So I guess it was just this tree's time or something. It looks like a really nice log. You know, dark green needles. Pretty straight. Anyhow, so I'll take care of this one. I won't film it. It's basically the same as the other several that you've seen. But it's this popple behind it that is going to be a bit of a challenge. Here's the root ball. Oh, wow. I hope this spruce can re-root itself when it goes back down. Oh, I guess it has some brothers and sisters. If it doesn't make it, a couple of those probably will, or one of them. So, this one here wanted to go over, but I couldn't. It got caught up against, well, that small fir there, which looks nearly dead, not that healthy, and probably really is being held up by that red maple, which is, I guess, what they refer to as a wolf tree, because it's really old. Probably one of the first trees here after this was sort of abandoned pasture and began to turn back into forest. So after I clean this one up, perhaps get it out of the way, because that's right in the middle of my road, as you saw. And then I'll tackle this. What I think I'll do first is probably take down that fir. You know, just take down this stuff around it. The issue here is I don't have a good way to use the cable to pull it down. You know, generally I would sort of go the opposite way of fell, but I do have a road over there, but it's not the easiest to access, and it's downhill, so the cable would sort of be scraping on the ground. So what I might end up actually trying to do is just take that tree down, sort of fell it that way, to the left a little bit. Anyhow, I'll ponder that as I work on this, and we'll come back. Well, after giving this some thought, I think I'll wait on cutting that fir. I think it's a fir. I don't think it's holding it up much, and I'm wondering if I was to cut this almost like I was felling it regularly, if it will just either roll off that tree or break those top branches. Well, that did absolutely nothing other than set the root ball sort of back down. So before I go and do something a little bit crazy, which would be to cut that the red maple down, I do have the tractor set up there. Maybe I can cable it such that it can twist it off. Now I'm thinking I should have taken down that fir because it's going to resist being twisted that way. Well, that held on a lot longer than I thought, and there's really not a lot of wood there that was hanging on to it. But well, I probably can salvage a 16-foot log out of this for lumber for my own use, and then the top, maybe a log or two will be firewood, and then the rest just slash. Wow, that was quite the ordeal to cut up the top of that, because the crown sort of fell in an area of a lot of regeneration, so I was trying to save as many of those small trees as I could. But I cut a 16-foot log for lumber. I'll drag that out this way. I can easily make the corners with a 16-foot piece. And the top ended up being two 16-foot logs for firewood. I'll actually take that out there because it's almost to the road's edge there anyhow. Yeah, I guess I just noticed here for the first time that a little bit of rot there in the center. Maybe I'll just make that firewood as well. Plus the log has a little bit of a sweep to it, so between the rot and the sweep, I probably wouldn't have a lot of good boards out of that. Well, that was a bit of an adventure. So yeah, I think overall there's minimal damage here. You know, in this immediate area there's some damage, but I'm guessing there's a lot of undisturbed trees that will sort of spring up. Plus we have this carpet of other trees. And it's really these that I'm after anyhow, these spruce. That one there. So plenty of those in this particular area. In fact, I went through and thinned out a little bit of this last year to sort of look for the spruce and clear around it a little bit. I think I do have some more blowdowns throughout the property here, but the process is really the same. A lot of very similar, just hung up trees. It's just a matter of what the surrounding woods look like and how I can get it down. So I appreciate you tagging along with this adventure, and I hope you stay tuned for future videos. Thank you.